Hi. Voice gone, sorry. Hi. I don't know if anybody's there. I'm a little bit late, sorry. And I know it's a holiday weekend. I actually didn't realize that it was a holiday weekend. Wow. Labor Day weekend. It's amazing. This year has completely gone by. And it's shocking. I could wait until people come on, but it doesn't really matter if you do or not. I'm just going to say what I need to say. And it'd be nice to have input from people, but this is just something that I told you guys that if I learned something, or if I was shown something different, whenever I'm course corrected, I tell people, right? And so I've been doing a lot of thinking about Lily, my cat. And thank you guys for all of your love and support and your prayers that you sent out. That's all been very, very much appreciated. I want to bring attention to the people in Texas that are going through such a horrible time right now, and send my love, and all of us as the collective send our love out to them as they struggle to rebuild and make it through what they've been dealing with. Right now there's a huge fire in Los Angeles, Burbank area. They said it's already burned 500 acres or 5,000 acres. Whatever it was, they said it's the largest out of control fire, and the winds are really high and it's very hot, so love goes to them as well. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about Lily, and about my mom, and about this whole twin soul thing. You know, we all know, I don't believe anything happens by mistake. I don't think there are coincidences. Sorry that there's such a glare on there. Hi, Gina. I've done so much talking already. It's okay. You can go back and read. I wish I could look at you without a glare on my face. Anyway, there, that's a little better. So I'm talking about soul contracts. I'm talking about freedom of choice. I'm talking about, you know, I said that when I learn things and when things come, when things come clear to me, and when I'm course corrected, I tell what I'm getting, right? We're always in a process of learning something, right? On this journey. I already brought attention to the fact that we're sending love out to the people in Texas that are going through what they are, as well as Los Angeles, huge fire, firefighters, the animals, the people, everybody. So anyway, going back to what I was talking about, you know, I say thank you very much for everyone for all the love that they've sent out to Lily and I, because she's not eating, and I've done everything I can. And I said something the other day that if I had a child that was anorexic, I would put them in the hospital and I would force them to eat. And I thought about that this morning, because Lily has been forced to eat. It's like she wants to eat, but she can't for some reason. But I can see her chewing. She can bite my fingers and she can chew. Something's stopping her. And I feel as though it's a message to myself. And she was drugged. They gave me drugs for her to help her with nausea, but also she's getting, I gave her cannabis, some cannabis oil to help her with nausea and to help her, encourage her to eat. And there's something else in what they gave her too that will encourage her to eat as well. And I started thinking about everything and everyone. She's so drugged she can't walk. It's strange. I only gave her what the doctor said to give her, but she's inhibited. She's not able to do what she wants for herself. She's following me around like, you're my mom. You're supposed to take care of me, and I'm trusting you, but she can't do what she needs to do, right? So I started thinking about my mother. My mother had pancreatic cancer, and she didn't tell me that she was dying. She didn't want me to know, because she didn't want any other unnatural life-sustaining means to be used to keep her alive. She wanted to just live her life and to go her own way. And so I didn't find out until the night before she died what was happening, and it was too late by that point for any intervention, right? And she knew that I would fight her. She knew, just like I'm fighting with Lily. And I thought to myself, you know what, maybe this is Lily's time to go. And I can't force her to stay. I can love her like I love my mom. And I started thinking about soul contracts. And yes, we have agreed to meet. Before we come here, we make an agreement to meet with our soulmates for lessons or for blessings. we agreed to meet with our twin souls before we come here. But what happens when you come here and you change your mind and you don't want that life? You know, I thought that I was on a I knew that I was on a twin soul path because it was made very clear to me, but I was confused about who it was. Everybody knows that. I thought it was this person in Wisconsin, and it wasn't. He was just a lesson. He was a messenger, actually. And it went on for 4 years, and it didn't go anywhere. And I kept trying to hold on to this loyalty to this soul contract that I knew in my soul that I had made. But it wasn't even the right person. So finally I got to the place when it wasn't going anywhere, and I said to Spirit, and I felt very, very disloyal at the time. And I was in Sedona, so I was very connected. I was working very, very close with Spirit at that time. And I said, I'm sorry, but I can't do this any longer. It's not going anywhere, and I feel like it's dragging me down, and I'm not able to move forward, and I want to let this go. And so I chose to do this on New Year's Eve. And I did. I let it go. And not a week later, this man came into my life, and many of you might know that I was in a relationship very briefly with a man named Tony, who is an amazing person, beautiful person, spiritual man, kind, gentle, loving, wonderful, wonderful man. I've got nothing but kindness to say about him and my time with him. And I told him I'm on this twin soul path, and I said he's supposed to be coming back into my life, and I don't feel like I can move forward, because Tony and I were getting very close, and I said I don't feel like I can move forward with this. It's not right. I know that this person is coming into my life. I've been shown it. I've seen it. And he said, I understand. You know, he goes, I feel like I'm here to help you with this. And he says, and whatever time we are together, I'm honored to be a part of it. And I thought, God, that's weird. How can somebody be okay with me? I said, what happens when he comes back and I just leave? Like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you and have him come back and I just leave. And he said, don't worry about it. I believe that this is for my soul expansion as well. So I struggled with it, but our relationship grew quickly, really fast. I mean, I grew spiritually, he grew spiritually. He told me something else as well. He told me that years before, he'd been awakened 18 years ago. And he said he knew that there were things required of him and that he didn't want to do. And so he chose to go back to sleep. He said, I went back to sleep. I stopped and I chose to go back to sleep because I wasn't ready to do what I know Spirit wanted me to do. I was supposed to leave my family, and he goes, I wasn't ready to do that. So I went back to sleep. And he only reawakened not long before he and I got together. So our journey went, you know, we were together for what? Not even 2 months. And you guys watched it. It was amazing. I grew spiritually, and this man was amazing to me. But someone came forward and said, I was battling still this loyalty. I'm very, very loyal. I had this really hard time because I knew that there was this other one that was calling me. I felt him, always. And all of a sudden, I used to go stay with Tony in where he lived a few days a week. And I was on my way, and I got a call from him, and he was crying. And he said, and I said, what's wrong? Have I done something wrong? And he said, no, I have. And I said, what's wrong? And he said, I can't do this. And I said, what? And he goes, I can't do this. My soulmates come back into my life. And I thought, what? And I was just crushed because I always thought, we both thought, that I would be the one that was going to leave when my twin soul came. It wasn't going to be him, it was going to be me. And I had already said, I said to friends, you know, I don't want to get into a relationship with somebody and hurt them when I leave them because I have to go with my twin soul. And my friend said, well, what if you're not the one that has to leave? And I said, well, why would he leave me? Well, he was. And I was angry and I was hurt. And I said to him, how can you say that you love me? He kept telling me he loved me. And I said, how can you say that you love me if you're leaving me? And he said, I do love you, but she's my soulmate. I do love you, but I have to go back. This is something that's beyond my understanding and not my understanding. It's beyond my control. I'm trying to get rid of this glare. It's not working. And he says, you know how it feels. You know what you're feeling in your soul, right? And he goes, I have that too. He goes, I never knew that she was going to come back. I never knew that this was going to happen, but it's here and she is the other part of me. I have to go. So he went on. And I should have realized it was a mirror for my own life, right? And so going through this with Lily and thinking about my mother and thinking about these soul contracts, and I started thinking about freedom of choice. You know, when Spirit said to me, this twin soul thing that you're involved in, this is going to be the most difficult thing that you have ever had to do, ever. And you can rewrite your soul contract if you so choose. And I thought, no, I'm strong, right? I'm an Aries. I'm tough. I can handle it. Is that better? Oh God, that's better. So I thought, I can do this. I can do this. I'm the most loyal person I know. I can handle it. I can hang. Because what happened was, about a week after Tony and I broke up, my girlfriend wrote to me and she said, I keep hearing a name. And she told me this name. She says, I keep hearing this name in regards to you. There. And she says, does it mean anything to you? And I said, yes. I knew who it was. And I didn't, this is somebody that I had met almost 20 years ago. And we had connected in Sedona again. We've connected, coming back and forth into each other's lives. Never clued in my head that, of course, that's what twin souls do. They come together, they pull apart. They come together, they pull apart. It's all about doing their work. And each time you come together, you have a stronger connection, but you still move forward on your path. And for some reason with twin souls, we can't seem to do it together. We seem to have to do it separately. So anyway, I pushed that out of my mind because I was upset about what was going on with Tony, right? I felt like that's where I was supposed to be because I was moving spiritually forward in my path, and my path was the most important thing to me. So, and Tony and I kind of kept talking. You know, he would check on me, make sure that I was doing okay, and I wasn't, right? I wasn't. Because I literally had let go of my path, I felt. Not my path, but I had let go of this soul contract that I had made years, before I came here, and I had chosen to move forward on because I said to him, if this guy is my soulmate, twin soul, we're not moving, we're not growing spiritually, and with you I grow spiritually. So I have to let go of this person because my spiritual path is the most important thing. I was not growing spiritually with that one that I thought was my twin soul. So a week after we broke up, Tony says to me, do you have a soulmate name? And he named the same person that my girlfriend named. And I said, yes. Why? And he said, you need to contact him. And I said, I'm not contacting him. I've been there. I've done that. I'm done with him. I'm done with this. It just never goes anywhere. I said all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to tell you the stuff I said. And he says, look, Sherri, you're connected. You're very connected. I know how connected you are to spirit. He goes, but so am I. And I've been awake for a long time. And he says, and I hear this is the name for you, and you need to contact him. And I was shown my twin soul, and they described him to me. And as they described him, they described this man that my girlfriend had mentioned and that Tony had mentioned, and I thought, this can't be possible. Even though I felt a connection with this person immediately, there's just no way. He never felt that for me. There's no way. But they described him to a T. And then they told me that he adores you, and I said, okay, it's definitely not him. It's definitely not him, because this guy does not adore me. And they said, no, that's his facade, that's his mask. When he finds his voice, you will be loved like you have never been loved before. This man loves you. And he has never met his match before, and you are his match, and you two together you'll do great things. You'll grow spiritually, you'll help people. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I didn't believe it. And I said, is he younger than me? And she said, no, he's older than me. And so I knew it wasn't him, because this one is younger than me. And she says, you'll know him by his closely cropped facial beard. And then I thought, definitely not him, because he would never cover up that beautiful face, right? So anyway, I kind of pushed it away, and I went to sleep, and in my dreams I was shown again. And so I did. I wrote to this person. And now this person was a friend, a light friend, right? Like I said, we've come in back and forth in each other's lives and out each other's lives for almost 20 years. At that point, 18 years. Or 17, I can't remember. Time has gone by so fast now. And we started to talk. And it went really quickly. And he'd already told me he was my twin soul. And he says, I'm on my way. And he came, and he was with me, and we knew it was us. But then something happened, because that's what happens with twin souls. When we connect, we bring up each other's stuff. Everything that we don't want to face. All of our past demons, all of our past issues, everything. And that's the work that Tony didn't want to do. When he was reawoken, he didn't want to do that work. And that's why he went back to sleep. Well, I've stayed on my spiritual path this last 3 years. It's been, like Spirit said, it's been extremely hard. I've broken myself down. You guys have seen me, it's ridiculous. I've kept myself in an ivory tower. Don't let anybody near me, because I am being loyal to my twin soul. I know that I can be there. I'm his best friend, and I will never desert him, right? But I started thinking about my mom, and I started thinking about Lily, and my mom didn't want to live that way. She didn't want to live being kept alive by false support, right? And Lily, no matter what I do, she's not eating. She doesn't want to be force-fed. Nobody wants to be forced to do anything. I don't want to be forced. You will never control me, ever. And I thought, why should somebody be controlled by a soul contract? If they don't want to do that, why should they be bound to that if that's not their choice? They get a choice. My twin gets a choice. Just because he is a twin soul, and yes, we made this agreement lifetimes ago that we would meet and come together, doesn't mean he has to stay there. Doesn't mean that he has to do that. He gets a choice, just like me. So I went into the shower, and I used the shower, I used the water, right? And I started, and I called in everyone. I called in the one from Wisconsin. I called in Tony. I called in my twin. I called in Lily. I called in all of my team. I called in all of my angels. And I said, any vows of poverty or chastity or any sacred vows that I have taken in past lives, I disavow now. I cut ties to all of you. I release you from all the ties to me, of any commitment or contract that you have made to me. Lily, my twin, the one in Wisconsin, Tony, anyone, past, present, future, in all dimensions, in all realities, I release you. Because what will an animal do when they get caught in a trap? They will fucking chew their leg off to get out. What will people do to escape prison? What will people do to fight for freedom? They will risk their lives to fight for freedom. They want freedom, freedom of choice. This country, that's why people want the United States. That's why people are trying to get into this country, because we have somewhat freedom of choice. None of us really have freedom of choice, do we? But as much as we can have it, we deserve it, right? We deserve freedom of choice. So if my cat chooses to not eat, I will make her comfortable and I will love her. I think that's the lesson. I think that the twin soul path, I think that's truly the lesson. That we have to get to the place where we realize we all have a choice. Nobody is bound to anyone. There are no, God made us free moral agents. We can choose to serve him or not. We can choose to go do whatever we want to do. He created us with free will. Everyone has free will. My twin is not obligated to me. I'm not obligated to him. And if there are any binding contracts, because I found that there were ties to Lily's stomach, there were attachments. My friend found them as well. And clearly there are attachments to me. And I have released them. I used the shower. I soldered everything off. I got salt. And I scrubbed my body and removing anything to do with it. As the water rinsed down, I release it back to pure white light. And anything that anyone had that was attached to me, or any commitment or vow or anything that I made in any existence, in any reality, time, space, past, present, future, anything, it is over. And from this point on, I have freedom, and you have freedom from me. And my cat has freedom of choice. Everyone connected to me has freedom. That's it. That, to me, I can love unconditionally. Tony said he did love me. Even though he was in love with his soulmate, he did love me. And I did too. And I get that now because I loved him too. It was unconditional love, just like I have for my twin. I want him to be happy. I want him to be safe. I want him to be free. Because what I hear resonating the loudest from my twin when I talk to him, what he wants the most out of anything is freedom. And I want him to have it. And he certainly has it from me. And I feel really good because yes, I'll be sad if Lily dies. Yes, I'll be sad if I don't see my twin again. I'm sad that I don't see Tony. I'm sad that I lost my mom. Sadness comes, we have to feel it. And we have to allow people to go. We have to enjoy the time that they're with us and allow them to move on, if that's what they choose. And then we can have what is meant to come into our life. What did I say the other day? What did I say? I wrote it on my wall. Something about I embrace. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I'm just thinking about force feeding someone. God, how horrible. Who and whatever good is in my highest good flows easily to me now. My heart and arms are open to embrace both unconditionally. My twin soul said to me when he found me in Sedona, that's when I really thought that I was still connected to that other person, that I was wrong. I wasn't. But I thought I was, and I was feeling disloyal when I was speaking to him because because I've always had a connection to my twin. Always. I loved him on sight. I didn't understand what it was, and he's always scared me because it's that feeling of not having a control over myself, right? I felt that I didn't have control over what I felt for him. And we should have control. What do I say every day? We get to choose what we say. We get to choose what we think. We get to choose what we do. Choice, free choice. But when it came to him, oh, my heart just explodes. I feel him right now. But he gets that choice. And we need to release. So I think that's the message, is that I was supposed to get. And maybe that's what the twin soul lesson actually is that you have to get to the place where you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this person is you, the other half of your soul. And it doesn't mean I'm not a complete soul by myself. I am. But he is definitely me. You have to get to the place where you recognize that that person is that person, and let them go, and give them freedom to go, and release them. I think that's the test, because it's got to be the biggest test I've ever had to do, to let my mom go, to let Lily go, and to let my twin go. So, it's sad, right? It sucks. We don't want people to die. We don't want people to live. Sometimes they come into our life just to teach us a lesson, like Tony. Tony was there for me. He was there to show me what I needed to see. He was there to show me. You know what he said to me? I had very low self-esteem. Very, very low self-esteem. I always have. And he said to me, this is uncomfortable, but he said to me, you have the most beautiful face I've ever seen. And I turned away from him, and he said, don't turn away from me when I tell you that. And he said, I'm going to say this to you until you believe it. I'm going to say this until you believe it. And do you know that by the time he went back to his soulmate, I did believe him. I truly believed that when he looked at me, that's what he believed. And that's all that mattered, right? I have to get to the place where it didn't matter that I had to love myself too, but we all have stuff that we carry, right? And for me, I've always had this warped concept of who I am and what I am. As far as a spiritual person and a teacher, I'm very proud of who I am. I'm very proud of the lessons I've learned. And I really love who I am. I really do. I know I'm a good person. I know I've changed a lot and I've grown a lot. I still am very insecure. But I don't have to look to somebody else to tell me that I'm beautiful. I'm getting older and I'm going to live with it. I'm going to age gracefully and go with it. No, I'm not 20 years younger like the girl that's after my twin or the one that he's with. I'm not. And I never will be, and I'm not going to compete with that, and I don't have to, because this is who I am. But it was pretty amazing that that man came into my life and said to me, I will say this to you until you believe me. And he did. He was able to do that because that was unconditional love. And I felt that coming from him. And so for me, that's all I want to come from me to everyone, is unconditional love. No holds barred, no latches, no hooks, no tying anybody down. Do you know most people run from relationships because they're so terrified to get tied down? They're so terrified that they're going to lose their freedom. I get that. I want to go too. I told you guys, I feel like a racehorse that wants to go. I want to go. I feel like I'm stuck here. I don't want to be stuck here. I want to move. I want to go. I want to get to Sedona. I want to travel. I want to go. I want to go. What's holding me here? And then I realized it's probably me. Me believing that I've got these ties to anything. Because we don't have ties to anything unless we believe that we do. Unless we allow someone else to tie us down, we don't have those ties. Somebody said to me, Lily knows that you have to go, but she doesn't feel strong enough to go right now. And she doesn't want to stop you. And I said, I'm not going without her. I'm not leaving without her. But I'm to the place now where I told her today, if you don't want to stay here, if you're ready to go, because sometimes people have done their job. Sometimes they've been in your life for as long as they're meant to be there. When I found Lily, I wasn't even going to go out that night. I wasn't going to bring in another cat. I had no intention of bringing in another cat in because Liger didn't want anyone else. He doesn't do well with other cats. And the lady said, please take her. She's starving. She needs somebody. And I can't help her because I've got other cats. I said, how long has she been out here? And she said 2 months. And I thought, oh my God. And when I picked her up, she didn't weigh anything. She was just bones. So I put her down and I said, if she follows me to my car, I'll take her. Thinking she wouldn't, right? So I went back to the car really quickly and she ran after me. So I picked her up and I brought her home. And Liger gave up all of the best places for her. He gave her the bed, he gave her the chair. And I know that that was a representation of what I was doing for my twin. I gave up all the best parts of myself to this person. He didn't ask me to. I did it. No one asked Liger to. He did it because he's a fucking amazing cat. And he's showing me something. Unconditionally loving. He's a good boy. So I told him, you know, all this time that Lily's been sick, Liger's been ignored, and so he's not been getting the attention that she's been getting. So I've been sure to go out there and give him a special attention. But I told Lily this morning, I love you, and I took you in. And just like my twin that night, this September, at the end of September, it'll be 20 years since I met him. I wasn't going to go out that night. I wasn't going. I didn't want to go. My girlfriend talked me into going. And when I got there, she didn't show up. And I wasn't going to go in because I don't go into nightclubs by myself. I don't do well in crowds, and I don't do well with men. I don't know how to push people's advances away from me. I just don't do well. And so she's on the phone, and she talked me into going in. She goes, go in, I'm coming. If you can go in, I'll get there later, and you can let me in. And so I went in, and I walked into this nightclub. It was Halloween night, 20 years ago, this October, this end of October. And I'm so short, I'm only 5'2", but I had these like 4-inch platform heels on. I was dressed like a black cat. And I walked into this club, and I couldn't hardly see over anything because everyone was taller than me. And I felt this energy. Just, I've never felt it before. It was the most bizarre thing I can explain to you. It was just like a magnet pulling at me. And I turned and I looked, and I saw across the room this tall man with dark hair and blue eyes, and his eyes just, you know, I couldn't even see what color his eyes were. All I know was like it was a magnet. He immediately was drawn to me. That was my twin. I had no idea. It was magnet. And every time he's come back into my life, he's come back into my life probably 5 times. It's been the same. 10 years went by. I got married and divorced. 10 years went by. I go into a nightclub, and I'm dancing with my friends. I've been there for a while, and I went up to get some water, and this person is sitting next to me. I could feel him. I didn't want to look at him as a guy. I didn't want to deal with guys. I dance with girls, that's it, or by myself, actually. So I'm standing there waiting for water, and this person says to me, you're the cat. And I said, I'm always the cat. No, first of all, he said, drinking ice water and lemon, it's still icy. And I said, always. And then he says, you were the cat. And I said, I'm always the cat. Do I know you? And I turned to look at him, and it was him. And my heart exploded out of my chest. That energy, again, was like, oh my God. No control over what happened to my body. Come together, pulled apart. 6 years later, come together again. He finds me in Sedona. Boom. He says to me, are you my twin soul? Wow, yes. 2 years go by, we don't meet each other. Contact each other again, come together a little bit, pulls apart. And then he shows up again. What was it, 3 years ago? Boom! He said the same thing. I've never been affected this way by anybody in my life. And I said, I don't. And he says, we're vibrating on the same frequency. This is it, man. And I thought that this was it. I was shown who he was. They described him. Oh, and P.S., when he showed up, fully cropped, closed facial beard. Never had seen that on him before. He was exactly who was described to me. He is who I know he is. I have no doubt. But he wants his freedom, and I want my freedom, and Lily wants her freedom, and my mom wants her freedom, and we all want freedom. And no one should be bound to any contract, even if you're a twin soul. So as far as I'm concerned, they're all disavowed. So Doreen Virtue disavowed her cards. Doreen Virtue disavowed her path. I don't disavow my path. I know I'm on a twin soul path. And if my twin soul and I choose to come together, then that will happen. But it won't be because there's some soul contract saying that we have to do it. And it certainly won't be because I'm holding him to it. And so I disavow that. So, I knew that I would get emotional doing this, and I don't like doing that. And also, I want to tell you guys something else. I give away a lot of my energy for free. My work is also the way I support myself. I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm a reader. I'm a channel. I'm a medium. I'm a life coach. It's what I do. It's my work. And I give free all the time. And I wonder why I'm struggling financially, because I was not recognizing my own self-worth. My time is valuable, and so are my gifts, and so is all the lessons that I've learned and the knowledge and my connection. I'm very connected. My readings are dead on. I know that for a fact. And I have wanted to give, because I always want to give. Spirit says, right? Equal giving and receiving. The problem is my giving and receiving wasn't equal. I was constantly giving to my twin, to other people, free readings constantly, free readings, and wondering why my phone's not ringing. Well, I went and I redid my website, and I changed my prices to reflect my value. And also, I gave a little bit more. I used to charge to have a video reading, and now I thought, no, you know what? It's more beneficial. If they can hear my voice, if they can hear my inflection, if they can see, it's beneficial for them. So I don't charge for that anymore. But I raised my prices a little bit because I'm worth it. And my phone started ringing. I started getting readings after readings, and things started flowing for me because I recognized my value and I wasn't giving it away for nothing. You don't go to the dentist and expect him to do your work for free. I had to deal with my tooth, find natural remedies, and P.S. my gum, it's completely going back. It's receding because I did the homeopathic things and what Spirit said to me, healer, heal thyself. Heal thyself. And I said, please don't use my pet to show me anymore. Don't use her as a lesson. So I cut all cords to her. All cords to everybody. Let her do whatever she's going to do. I'm not going to look at Lily and talk about her like she's my twin or like she's me. I'm going to just see her as my pet, as my beautiful little girl that she is. That's it. I don't want any other pressure on her. That's it. Just love. I love my cats. That's it. And if I choose to do a couple of free readings, I'm going to do that. I don't want people to expect it from me because this is how I earn my living. I've had people so generous with their love and their prayers, and I want to thank you all. I've even had a couple of people that have donated for Lily a little bit, and every little bit helped. It was really, really expensive, and you know what I found? I had no food in my refrigerator because I didn't have the money. But I took the money out and I spent it on her. I'm probably upwards of $1,000 for Lily. I could have had Botox in my face. I could have gone on vacation. I could have done all kinds of stuff, and I've done nothing for me. So I went out last night and I bought myself some food, and I did. I went and got more things for her to try, and the things that I got she wouldn't touch. So that was wasted. So I can't do it anymore. It's stupid. It's like, you can't keep throwing things down at people that don't see the value in it. She doesn't want it. Thank you, Joy. Blessings to you, too. I love you. Thank you. Lily doesn't put the value in that. I kept hearing in my head, she wants the cookies. She wants the peanuts. They call them peanuts. They're these little treats. Yelling in my head, stop feeding her that. Give her what she wants. And I thought, God, I saw my twin being forced to do something he didn't want to do. And when he didn't want to do it, they locked him up. And I don't know if it was a mental thing. I don't know what they were showing. But I was doing the same thing to my cat. And I thought, God, I don't want to do that to anybody. I don't want to be the reason anybody feels like they've lost their freedom. Like I'm a noose around somebody's neck. Who wants that, you know? You want somebody to come to be with you because they can't stay away, because they love you. And they know that they're better with you. That right? That's what we all want. That's what we all want. So, I have to get working today because I have to work. I got to pay my bills. I do want to say now that there's a lot of people on right now. Please send your love and blessings. I know you are. But for the ones, I was talking to a friend of mine who's living in Texas, and she's going through a really difficult time dealing with all of this stuff. She's not just going through that stuff, because we're all going through this rebirthing process, on top of all the other crap that we're going through. Los Angeles right now has a huge fire burning out of control. It's already burned 5,000 acres. It's the biggest fire in the area there that they've ever had, and with the wind, it's out of control, and they're very worried. I worry about, of course, the people, the firefighters, and the poor animals that have nowhere to go, and they don't know what the hell's going on. So our love goes out to that, and pray that the winds slow down. So I have the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. I really like this deck. And so I'm going to ask for us. I don't think that I'm going to do it for anyone specifically. I'm going to say for us. And it could be, what day is this? Saturday. See, I'm doing my weekly reading tomorrow. So maybe we're just going to pull two cards. One for right now and one for the end of the day. And see what it is that Spirit wants to say to us. So this is for all of us, okay? I'm going to put you guys down while I do this. And I'm going to give us some backup. All right. Thanks for bearing with my emotions. Wow. Like that. Okay. Can you guys see that? All right, so what we see is listen. And that's what I feel like I'm doing. I feel like this one is saying to us that we gotta stop this. See this wild hair? When you, in dreams, in dream analysis, when you speak about you're getting your hair cut or hairstyled or washed, that's changing ideas. Your hair is your psychic antennae, right? So it's the way of thinking. So her hair is wild, it's crazy. Look at all of this reverberating out from her. You see that? She's got a crystal hanging here. It's a rose quartz. That's what I'm gonna call it. Rose quartz is for unconditional love. She's got the color of rose around her as well, and she's got the blue. I know it represents the sky and spirit, but to me it represents Archangel Michael as well. And she's putting her hands up in prayer, but also to her lips, like she's saying, quiet. And what she's saying is, we need to take a few moments to quiet our mental chatter, this crazy wild hair, and listen. These are her ear chakras. This is what's reverberating. What is it that Spirit's saying? Pay attention, maybe. And in being that this is the psychic tarot of the heart, in relationship, what is it that the other person is saying to you? What are they really saying to you? Too often in conversations, we kind of like try and figure out ahead of time, or we kind of skip ahead. We're kind of like listening in a way like we're going to respond. You know, we're planning on what we're going to say, but we're not really able to hear what the other person is saying. Maybe we make assumptions about what's actually going on, right? And when we do that, if we've already made an assumption because, okay, I've heard this part, because what we've heard is stuff that's happened in the past, right? We don't know what's happening in the future. Nobody knows. We get a glimpse sometimes. I get a glimpse, but not for certain because we all have free will, right? So if you're busy thinking about, okay, this is what happened before, so this is what I'm going to say, you're not really paying attention to what that person is saying to you, right? You are going to mess up the outcome of this conversation because you're trying to plan it. You're not hearing what they're saying. And so you're not present. You're not really present. You're not listening. Because listening comes when you're quiet and when you're centered and you're totally present. It involves not just your ears, but all of the other senses that you have, your intuitive abilities. What does your heart feel? How does your body react? There's so many other, when you look into somebody else's eyes, they don't even have to speak and you know what they're saying. My twin doesn't speak very much. Very few words, but he speaks loudly. His eyes speak volumes. His body speaks volumes, right? My cats can't talk to me in their language, but I can understand when they're stressed out, when they're anxious, when they're calm, right? So they're asking us to use not just our ears to listen, but everything, and sense what this other one is feeling. Let your intuition help you understand what's going on. It's very crucial to what's going on with this situation that you're in or this person. You need to also ask, see how she's getting herself centered? She's lining herself up. She's probably saying, clear and balance my chakras, get me steady. Yellow is the divine masculine. Yellow is also the color of friendship. Get centered. Listening is a gift, and that's a gift that we give to others. When we are fully present with another, we gift them with us, with our physical presence, our heart-centered presence. You know, and this is what we need to do, to give to our parents, to our children, to our lovers, to our pets, to our friends. We need to give them our full presence. And to ourselves, what is it that my heart is really telling me? What is my body trying to tell me? I listened to myself and I understood. I don't want to be tied down. I don't want anyone to feel tied down. I don't want to be obligated, and I don't want anyone else to feel obligated. We all deserve freedom. We just want to be loved unconditionally. So I want to give that love out. There's no room for anger in that. I can't be mad at Lily because she doesn't want to eat. I can't be mad at my mom because she didn't want to prolong her life with artificial means. I can't be mad at my twin if he doesn't want to do what I chose to do. There's no anger. There's just love. You keep that love over your heart. Tune into your mind, your body, and your soul. An affirmation that they want to give you: I honor myself by being present and truly listening to the messages that I hear. This one represents the High Priestess. I was showing her all day yesterday, the High Priestess. She honors herself, and by honoring herself first, she's able to honor others. That's an amazing message. All right, we have another one. That's for right now, and then we have another one. I'm using crystals with Lily to calm her and to, you know, I've got rose quartz with her. Wow, that's where we're at, eh? Feeling alone. So do you guys see that clearly? I want you to see it clearly. So we see this woman, and she's standing there on the side of a mountain. Mountains generally represent challenges, and she's feeling alone. She's holding a light next to her. She's looking out over the vast land in front of her, and she sees that moon. She looks up to that moon over there. No one's around her. She's by herself. So what they're saying right now, there's a house there too. There's a light on, but that might even be her house. There's no animals even there, not even any animal totems. Just her, all alone. So maybe right now, true love and emotional support might feel lacking in your life. This suggests a period of aloneness, or feeling alone or abandoned. Many are feeling this way right now. Many of us are feeling this way. I've had people writing to me, calling me. They're struggling through this. I know I've been feeling this way. I feel very isolated, right? And yet I know my soul team is here. I know my spiritual family is here. So if you're thinking that nobody understands your needs or even cares about it, or maybe you've turned to somebody in particular that you had hopes for. Maybe they deserted you. Or maybe like me, my twin soul, I really thought we would be together. And he's gone. It's a rejection, right? And these insecurities then kind of rise to the surface, and it overwhelms us. It attacks us, right? It's the ego coming up. And you know, we are spiritual people. We are very strong. We are very powerful. We're connected to all of this vast energy out here. But we are also wearing these human suits, and we have to deal with the human emotions that we have. And these insecurities are real. They come to the surface. Everything that we desire may feel like it's impossible now. There's no life. There's nothing there. I'm completely alone. What this card is saying to you right now, first of all, I'm bringing notice to the number 5. And I want to tell you first, this number was 2. Okay, I forgot to tell you about the first card. The first number being 2 says that everything's actually fine, and it's going to continue to be so as long as you keep believing. Because your feelings of hope, that's what leads to more positive outcomes. And we can call on our angels and our Father and our soul family to help buoy our faith up if we ask for help. Like my friends that have been reaching out to me. And they apologize when they reach out to me. They always apologize. And I say, don't apologize. You don't have to apologize. I reach out to you guys all the time. And you're there for me. And I love you for it. I love my soul family. And I appreciate you so much. And don't ever feel bad for reaching out to me as my friend and asking, what do I feel and what do I get from this? Because sometimes we just need to get outside of ourselves, right? My friend that wrote to me yesterday, she's a Reiki master. She's very connected. She's very capable. But she's going through a lot right now. She's physically struggling with ailments. She's going through, like I said, all the problems that are going on in Texas. She's dealing with that. She's dealing with long family issues that have come back up, because that's what happens when soulmates come back into our lives. She had a soulmate reconnect with her, and it brought up all these demons, right, that she's having to deal with. And so she says, this is what I'm feeling. What do I do? And I just talked to her like I talk to myself. And she says, you're right. And everything I gave her, she said, is what she got for herself, but she just needed to hear it from me. She just needed to hear it from an outside source, right? I know it. I know the things that I'm telling you guys. I know that I need to do this for myself, and yet I feel that way too. I miss my twin. I miss him so much. I miss my mom. I don't want to leave Lily. I feel very alone, and I feel like it's all out of my hands. And the truth of the matter is, it is.
It's not in my hands. And so we have to surrender it, right? But we have to trust. We have to trust that we are not alone. Spirit is saying to us with the number 5, 5 is about changes, right? We're going through this. A significant change is occurring. We're going through this rebirthing process. September 23rd, there's a huge solar event that takes, I keep calling it solar, planetary alignment that's taking place. The doomsday prophets are calling it the end of the world. No, this planet is not going to end. But what is happening is the planets are lining up in such a way as it looks as though the woman giving birth. So we're going through the labor pains right now. It's excruciating. I was in labor with my children, with my son for 3 days and 3 nights. He was stuck in the birth canal. They couldn't take him out. They waited too long. I was in such extreme agony. They said I wasn't going to live. They said that my son wasn't going to live. I heard them. I would wake up in contractions. I've told you guys this story before, but it's very applicable to what's happening. The contractions would wake me up because the pain was so excruciating. And then I would pass out after the contraction left because I was exhausted. 3 days and 3 nights of this pain and nothing, they couldn't do anything. And I was dying. And they said the baby was dying too. And I heard them say, you're going to have to choose. We're going to either have to take the baby or choose her. And I heard my mom say, save my daughter. And I pulled into everything and I woke up and I said, no. I don't even know if they heard what I said. All I know is I pushed that baby out. And as soon as I did, I fell. I was gone. But I got that baby out because no way was that baby going to die because of me. So right now, Spirit is saying, you are going through this birth. And it's excruciating. And it's painful. And it's lonely. But it's a significant change and it's for the better. It's going to be okay. We've already been shown it's going to be okay. We need to call on heaven and ask for help to go through this. I am calling on all of my spiritual family, all my soul family, all my team. Do you know what I did this morning? Since Lily has been showing me my twin and me, I know how capable my twin is. I've told you guys before, he's gifted. He has so many gifts. I asked him for his help. As a spiritual twin, I said, I'm asking for you to help her. Will you please help her? Because I'm probably too close. And I don't want to get her stressed out because I'm stressed out. So I'm going to detach and I'm going to ask if you will come in and help her, please. Just help her be comfortable, right? So I'm not too proud to do that. I'll ask for help. So Spirit's saying, don't let your confidence be shaken. There's lessons in everything we're going through. And know that this alone feeling, this temporary pain that we're going through, and this struggle, that's what it is. It's temporary. We have our spiritual team. This woman has her spiritual team. Lily has her spiritual team. My twin has his spiritual team. None of us appointed anyone else a martyr to save another. We are here to take care of ourselves and be a blessing and share unconditional love. That's it. We can support our friends, unconditionally loving, but we must take care of ourselves. We all have our own team. We need to not stand here feeling alone. We need to pour our hearts out. Let the tears fall, right? Release it. Do you know that there are, I can't remember, there's like over 600 toxins that release every time your body cries. It's very healthy to cry, even though people don't like to do it. It's embarrassing, right? I'm beyond being embarrassed because I do this with you guys all the time, and it's crazy to me how openly I cry now, because my whole life I've never been a crier. I didn't cry when my sister died. I barely cried when my mother died. I just hold it in, which is very unhealthy, right? So let it out, cry, talk to your team. And I do. I stood there in the shower and I talk to them. When I get upset, I tell you guys, I yell and scream and I walk around my house and I talk to them and I talk to my cat. I talk. What we need to do is speak. We need to not keep everything inside. We need to not keep everything bottled up. We need to not be feeling like we're a one-man army or one-woman army that we can't reach out to other people. We need to reach out to our team, to our spiritual team, to our angels, to our Father, to our family, to our friends, right? You can cry. You can cry. It took me years. My girlfriend Erica told me she's never cried. She goes, I can't cry. She goes, I've even tried to hurt myself to make myself cry, and I can't cry. But she started to. Recently, she said something. It happened with the death of her dog, and she cried. She said, I cried like I've never cried before. Because that dog was a representation of her, just like Lily is a representation of me. And that's what happened. And once the dam breaks, it starts coming. Look at me. I can't stop it. It just keeps coming and coming, and it's good to do it. So Right now they're telling you, seek the support of your friends, seek the support of your family, seek the support of your team, and realize that there is help there. Realize help is there. It is right in front of you, even if it doesn't look like it is, because it is. You got to lift yourself out of it. It's okay for us to get down. It's okay for us to feel that sadness, right? That depression. But we can't allow ourselves to stay there. We have to do something to lift ourselves out of it. So what do? Go for a walk, go to the gym, sing, put on songs that make you feel self-confident and happy. You know what song is really awesome is Bob Marley's Three Little Birds. Love that song. Love that song. Or Jack Johnson, Upside Down. Love it. Love it. Jack Johnson is, good, feel-good music, right? Put on music that makes you feel happy. Music is amazing. But you know what else works for me? Is helping other people. Whenever I get upset like this, I reach out to other people to help them. So I throw myself into my work. So when my friend wrote to me, she said, "I'm so sorry to bother you." And I said, "No, believe me," because it made me strong. It made me strong. By the time I finished talking to her, I was outside with Lily. I'd taken Lily outside down to the grass because I know she loves that. And we were walking around, and that's when she wrote to me. And as I started to speak to her, I was outside, which was the best place for me to be. It's the best place for all of us to be, is in nature. And I was doing something that was making Lily happy, so that made me feel good. And I was being there for a friend, right? And I was giving her what she already knew. I was just backing her up, right? Being there as backup. And it took me out of my sadness. It made me feel strong. And then I had a couple of private readings after that, and I worked with people after that too. And that made me even stronger. So reach out to others, help others. We'll feel better. It lifts our energy, and when we do that, it attracts blessings to us. When we give from ourselves unconditionally, unconditional loving, when it has nothing, we have no agenda. When we truly give, it comes back. It's the law. It's the law of attraction. What comes out must come back. So we have to be careful about the words that we choose. And when I said that I released my twin and I wish him all the freedom in the world, doesn't mean I don't want him to come back. I would love for him to come back into my life. I love him. I've never loved anyone the way I love him. But he's free. And that frees me too. So that if our path is over, if our lessons are done, and there's somebody else that's meant to come into my life, I have to be welcoming that. I have to be open to that. And so does he. And he's free from that for me. So that is unconditionally loving him. And no anger, just love. Right? Love to Lily, love to my twin, love to you guys. And that's the end of my spiel. And I appreciate you being here for me and for each other. Just even being energetically online like this. Hi. I didn't say hi, I was blubbering. Just being energetically online like this. We connect with each other and it helps us. And you know what? It helps you to see that, yes, I am very, very connected. I'm a Reiki master. I'm an intuitive. I'm a channel. I'm a medium. I have the dead speak through me. Yes, I do. I'm very, very good at what I do. I'm very, very powerful. I know how to manifest. I can manifest in other people's lives. I can make things happen. But I'm also a human. I'm a human being wearing this human suit, and I am subject to all the frailties and all the emotions that a woman has, and that a mother has, and that a daughter has, and that a lover has. I get lonely. I get heartbroken. I have loss, right? I want beautiful things. I want to have company. I want someone to hold me and kiss me. I miss that, right? We all have it. Just because I'm a connected soul and I can help other people, I can do that really, really well. It doesn't mean I'm not just like you, because nobody's different. None of us are above the other. That's where the problem is when we start looking to people like they're different than us, because nobody is. We all have gifts, we all have abilities, and we're all doing our best on this journey to open up and to ascend to the highest level possible. And for me, the biggest lesson that I have learned is unconditional, no strings attached, just love without expecting anything back. No expectations, just love. That's it. So I'm going to kind of look and see if anybody has anything that they want to say. Hi Brian, hi Joy, hi Karen, hi Sherri, hi Brianna, hi Gina, hi Janice, hi Christina, hi. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Yeah, the Dark Night of the Soul's been kicking everybody's ass. We've all been kind of going through it. Mine's been going on for a long time. I come out of it and go back into it, it seems.
I have the opportunity, Lily, and if Lily's strong enough, Liger and Lily and I have the opportunity at the end of October. I think it's the end of October. Geez, it's probably a good place for me to be. At the end of October, I have the opportunity to go house sit in Sedona for almost 2 weeks. And it's actually coming right at the time that my twin soul and I will have been together, connected to each other for 20 years. So that's probably the best place for me to be, is in Sedona, where I can be closest to spirit and to my mountains. And while I'm there, I'm going to look for a home. That's my plan anyway. I don't go too far ahead because we're always course corrected, you know, but I often find myself not making plans because of that. I think, oh, I never know where I'll be or what I'll do. And then I watch other people do that, and people have things, and the time comes and goes, and I've done nothing. So I've got that in motion for myself. I've got that plan in my mind anyway, and I'll work towards that. And if something happens that changes, well, then it does. But that's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm excited. Lily, she was drugged. I gave her medicine, and I gave her a little bit of cannabis oil, and I don't know what happened, but she got really, really drugged. She couldn't control her. She was having dreams, and she was jerking around, and she was scared. So I just was trying to hold her, and she's up right now. She wants to eat. She didn't even know what she was eating. She was drooling from her mouth. I brought some food to her, and she took bites, but she couldn't seem to put it in. And I shot water into her mouth because she was drooling, and she's standing over there right now. She doesn't know what to do. She's just wandering around. Maybe if you can look at her and give her love. She's still out of it. I don't know. Maybe her body's just shutting down. Hi, baby girl. I know her eyes aren't normal right now. It's okay, baby. It's okay. You want to say hi? She's very confused right now. I don't know. I don't know if she's just shutting down. It's okay, baby girl. It's okay. She doesn't know what she wants. She's very, very thin. When she went to the vet, when I found her, she was 7 pounds. When I first rescued her, and she's 6 pounds. She lost a whole pound. Very thin. So I don't know. She might be shutting down. I don't know. I can just love her, and I just need to stop being upset because I know she reacts to me. But yeah, she's really thin. Oh, see, she falls. It's okay, baby girl. Just lay down. Just lay down. So if you guys could send her love so that she's comfortable, I'd appreciate it. I gotta go. I gotta go, maybe get away from her for a bit. So, thank you guys. Thank you. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. I gotta go.